Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for this week's weekly safety recap. Before we get started, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find additional videos of this nature, toolbox safety topic videos, and leadership training videos. Well, let's get right into it. This past week I had the opportunity to visit 8 sites, and as usual, everything looked good for the most part. There were a few items of note, and I will cover them, but first I'd like to talk about a meeting I had this past week. I asked for a meeting with, in my opinion, the division manager of the most safety conscious and successful division of all the divisions I work with. I will not say who the individual is, for I find him a humble person, and I did not ask his permission to identify him. But I feel compelled to share his insights on what he thinks makes his organization successful. In our conversation, I sensed 2 critical aspects of his success. Neither of these aspects can have priority over the other, so I will not or cannot prioritize them numerically. Accessibility and communication, and team members are the most important asset. Now, the following commentary is my takeaway or opinion from the meeting, and I did not prioritize the areas I just talked about. All are equal in importance and are nebulous in their relationship with one another. As a leader, are you accessible to your team members? Do you have the time to listen to their concerns or issues? More importantly, do you make the time to listen to their concerns or to their issues, whether it be personal or job related? Our success is contingent on our team members performing to their highest ability. Now, are there physical or emotional issues creating a drag on their performance? How are we to know? Are our lines of communications open? Are we accessible to our team members? Or are our lines of communications being inhibited by a self-perceived time constraint? Do we say, "I'm busy right now, get back to your task and I'll talk to you later"? Or when we see that person's name appear on the caller ID, do we reject the call? Or answer and say, "I'll call you right back," and then oftentimes fail to do so? Or do we take the time to engage? Can we reasonably expect our teammates to be open to our operational needs and concerns, such as schedule, budgets, etc., when we are not open to theirs, doctor appointments, child care issues, relationship issues? Can we reasonably expect our teammates to be open to hazard recognition and training when there exists a disconnect in the relationship between the leaders and the team members? I guess in summation, it's all about relationships. Am I suggesting that we gather together and sing Kumbaya? Certainly not. But I am suggesting that we take an active interest in our most important asset, our people. Alright, now for the noted safety items this past week. PPE. We cover this on a regular basis, and it is so important. Ensure that team members recognize the hazards associated with their assigned task and how to mitigate those hazards, and what PPE is required for the task and why. Now, I'd like to give you an example. I was discussing a recent video of the damage caused by a demolition saw blade coming apart and what kind of protection is required and why. One of the team members piped up and said, "Oh yeah, we just had a safety meeting about that because one came apart on me." My reply was, "Any injuries?" "No" was the answer, and then I said that was probably a pretty good lesson then. During my walkthrough on the same job, I heard the sound of a demolition saw, saw sparks flying out of the doorway, and as I entered the area, the employee with whom I'd had this discussion with was putting down a demolition saw. And to my surprise, he did not have face protection, eye protection, or hearing protection. I was flabbergasted to say the least. I stopped work, called all team members together for a training session, and notified the entire chain of command for that individual. I found the actions to be a total disregard for safety. Now, there are two camps surrounding safety: the I don't know and I don't care. The I don't know camp can be easily dealt with through training, but there is no place for the I don't care. Next, let's talk about equipment inspections. We talk about it regularly. Equipment is to be inspected daily prior to operation. Inspections are to be documented. Witnesses won't work. He saw me service the equipment. He saw me service the equipment. It will not work. It must be documented in the eyes of OSHA, or it did not happen. Inspect your equipment and make sure that inspection is documented. Next, silica dust. Whenever the potential for respirable silica dust exists, there must be a silica exposure control plan, and the plan must be adhered to. Which section does your task fall under? Table 1 or Section 2? It is important to understand the difference. OSHA is on the hunt in this arena. Respirable silica dust exposure prevention is important to OSHA, it's important to your employer, and it should be important to you. Review the silica dust standard as necessary and contact your safety department with additional questions or concerns. Let's talk a little bit about fall protection. Ensure that team members are trained in fall protection. Place additional emphasis on anchorage types, overhead or walking or working surface, the anchorage required, the capacity, etc. Also ensure team members understand the difference between overhead and leading edge retractable lanyards. If you have any questions, feel free to contact your safety professional or contact myself, and we'll get the training necessary to satisfy the requirements under the OSHA guidelines and your company guidelines. All right, folks, that's it for this week's recap. Thanks for watching, and remember, give me a thumbs up down below to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find additional videos of this nature, along with toolbox safety topic videos and leadership training videos. And until we see each other again, take care of yourself, because you're number one. Look out for your co-workers and help ensure their safety. Have a grateful day, and I will see you in the field.